Hi everyone and welcome to another video from despairrepair.com. In this video we'll talk about an important topic, and that is how to avoid problems when fixing your car. This video may help you to get out of trouble, or even better, prevent the problem altogether. It may come in handy especially if you're a fan of DIY repair. So stay tuned. despairrepair.com. Be sure to visit us at our website despairrepair.com, where you can find more useful car and driving tips. This is perhaps the most important factor if you want to avoid problems when fixing your car. How hard is the repair? How much time will it take? How much money will it cost? And other important factors may well mean the difference between success and getting into a tight spot. The estimate doesn't have to be that precise. Usually a rough overview of the problem should be enough. Also, a key factor is to make a good and accurate diagnosis of the problem as much as possible. Use an OBD tool, but also use common sense. Some experience also comes in handy. There's also an abundance of free knowledge on Google, YouTube, and elsewhere that will additionally help around the repair. All in all, with all this help at hand, you should be able to paint a good picture of what lays ahead of you. Sometimes it's better, safer, and more economical to immediately drive the car to a mechanic, or sometimes you can spare yourself from getting into trouble. One of the best ways to avoid problems, especially in car repair, is to try and make a possible scenario of what can happen. After you've concluded what lays ahead of you in terms of repair, think about, are you actually able to do it? One of the last places where you want to have a large ego is in car repair. Trust me, if you overestimated yourself, you may pay a hefty price in terms of money, not be able to finish the repair, or even worse, do a sloppy and low quality job. Besides this, it's also good to assess if you need any help during the repair. Some repairs are impossible to do on your own. In these situations, try to find someone to help you before you start so you can avoid getting into trouble. All of this may sound a bit discouraging, but in car repair it's better to be realistic than to be sorry later on. Once you've made a good assessment of the repair, the natural course of events is to find and get all the needed spare parts. As all people know who've done some car repair, finding a spare part can be sometimes complicated. Sometimes the part is hard to find. There are lots of categories of spare parts, original or aftermarket. The price for the same part often varies, and so on. Then you have the possibility of buying a similar part but not exactly the same. This is especially tricky when buying electrical components, for instance. Besides this, various car parts have several parts within one mechanism, and you should make sure you get all of them. For instance, a CV joint usually comes complete with the rubber boot, clamp, and grease for the joint. All in all, finding the part may involve some serious time and research, and you should consider this. The last thing you would want is to start the repair, dismantle everything, and conclude you're missing something. The part isn't a match, or something else. So the repair isn't that complicated, you're able to do it, and you have all the spare parts. But do you have all the tools? It's common practice when making a car repair to prepare all or the majority of tools you'll need. The main purpose of this is to have the tools at hand and avoid interrupting the repair all the time because you don't know where some spanner or socket is, for instance. Also, you'll see if you're missing any tools that are crucial for the repair so you can get them on time. Sometimes you might even need special tools that you'll have to rent or perhaps have to search for. Just like with parts, you don't want to dismantle everything only to conclude that you don't have the right tool. Also, be sure to gather all the tools once you're finished. Any tools that are left behind, especially in the engine bay, can be dangerous, not to mention the loss of tools. No need to say that safety is the most important thing when working around the car. Making safety precautions is a key factor in avoiding problems. If you're jacking up the car, make sure to pull the handbrake, use wheel chokes, and properly secure the car once it's raised. Take the minus battery clamp off when working around the electrics and electronics. Take the key out of the ignition to avoid someone from accidentally starting the car while your hands are in the engine bay. Make sure you tighten everything properly when you're finishing the repair. Wear proper clothes, shoes, protective glasses when needed, and wear gloves whenever you can. These are just some of the precautions, and the list goes on. All of these have one thing in common, and that is to think first about yourself and your safety and then about the repair. There's no such repair that's worth your safety, trust me. All of these tips may seem dull or even annoying, but trust me, better safe than sorry. It's all fun and games until the problem starts. Due to some minor moment of carelessness or ignorance, you may render the car useless or pay a big amount of money to repair it. Again, don't get me wrong, DIY work around the car was and still is a favorite pastime, hobby, or even a passion for millions of people around the world. It should be that way, but a car repair should be primarily safe, successful, and functional in the long run. Oftentimes, thinking things through before you start is the key to achieving this. For the end, and like with many problems in life, preventing a car problem from happening in the first place is oftentimes the best solution. That's it for this time. Hope this video helps. Please like and subscribe, it's a huge help for what we're doing. Thanks for your time and thanks for watching.